a stack of books next to me. I'm gonna be honest, it's not the biggest stack. I'm still kind of getting back into the habit of reading, so, and to be completely honest, I've really fallen off lately. Like, I swear I haven't read in like a month, which is not great, but last year my goal was to read 12 books, one a month, and this year my goal is just to read more than that, and I'm still doing well. I'm staying on track, even if I have fallen off lately. So with that being said, let's just get right on into it in no particular order. So first of all, I have been continuing to read the Harry Potter series. I haven't gotten very far into it, obviously. This is only the second book. So this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And yeah, I've been really slow in reading this series. I think I'm kind of overwhelmed by the series just because, one, it's a lot of books to read, and two, the fandom is so intense, and like I feel like I'm so late to the party, but at the same time, like I have so much to catch up on. And then in the back of my mind is always like, we do not like J.K. Rowling, you know, like, ew. I do believe in separating the art from the artist in instances such as these, but I guess it's like an ick factor, and then also because the fandom and the fans are so intense, I like get a little bit overwhelmed. But my sister really wanted me to read this series, so I'm going to continue. I also have the book set. I asked for it for Christmas or my birthday, and I got it, so I'm going to read it. I'm going to get through it. I'm just very, very slow at it, and yeah, I feel like I'm so late to the party. But I have been enjoying it, and my sister told me that book number 3, which is the book that I'm up to, is where it really starts to get juicy, so we'll see. Okay, next in my stack of books, which is a bit of a shift from the last one, is Catch 22. I'm sure you've all heard of this book, or at least heard of the saying Catch 22, which comes from this book. And it is by Joseph Heller. Am I correct? Yes, Joseph Heller. So I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, while I did enjoy this book, it was a bit of a slog to get through. I've been wanting to read it for a while because it's a complete classic, and I was just curious about it. And while I would recommend it, I think you have to be in the right headspace for this. And yeah, it is quite long, with quite small type. I read this at the start of the year, so it has been a while, but it's sort of played into the unreliable narrator a little bit, which can be difficult to read at times. It also jumped a lot in the storyline. It wasn't just completely linear. It jumped from characters to characters and sort of different times in the timelines, so I did find it a little bit difficult for those reasons, but the overall premise and themes of the book I really did enjoy. If you are completely clueless as to what the book is about, let me read the blurb for you. Set in the closing months of World War II in an American bomber squadron off the coast of Italy, Catch 22 is the story of a bombardier named Yosarian who is frantic and furious because thousands of people he has never even met keep trying to kill him. Joseph Heller's best-selling novel is a hilarious and tragic satire on military madness and the tale of one man's efforts to survive it. I'm quite a fan of war stories because I love history, so I'll always be down for a war movie or a war book. And I believe it was Harper Lee, I could be so wrong here, I believe it was Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, who said that this was the best war story she had ever consumed because it really captured the military madness. If you could hear birds squawking in the last clip, I'm sorry, my Lee because I was like, I don't know if I'm just talking out of my ass here, but what Harper Lee said about Catch-22 is that it's the only one, quote, it's the only war novel I've ever read that makes any sense, end quote. And it's like, she said that because it's so nonsensical that it makes sense, because when you are in a war, one, nothing makes sense, and also your mental state deteriorates so fast, and this is what Catch-22 really captures. But I can't lie to you guys, I don't know if I was quite smart enough for this book, because while I did finish it and enjoy it, it was a little bit hard for me to read. On the other hand, a book that was very easy for me to read, Sunrise on the Reaping. I'm sure a lot of you know about this book as well, but it is the latest book in the Hunger Games series. This book is a prequel to the original trilogy, and it follows the story of Haymitch, who is Katniss and Peter's mentor in the original Hunger Games trilogy. Haymitch's story is always one that has intrigued me so much, and I always wished that we got to learn more about his story, so I was beyond excited when this book came out, and I, like many other Hunger Games fans, jumped right on it, and it was like all that was on my social media feeds for a while, just talking about the book and theories of the book, and luckily I read it right away, so I didn't have any spoilers. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I whizzed through it, I couldn't get enough. I was actually sad when it was over. I liked this book a lot better than the last prequel, which was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That one followed the story of President Snow when he was young, and I just didn't really enjoy it. I think I'm in the minority there, but I thought that the author Suzanne Collins was kind of reaching at points and kind of trying to forge connections where there clearly wasn't any. She did do that a little bit in this book as well, but I thought it was more passable. And I don't know, I didn't really love it. I didn't really love the last one. I didn't love the movie either. I thought the actors all did a great job, but I just didn't really enjoy it. But I loved this book, so I'm really hoping that I will also love the movie. I'm trying to get my boyfriend to read all of the Hunger Games books because he has never read them, and then we can watch the movies together. I'm kind of a bit of a book snob or Puritan, like I feel like you have to read the books before you watch the movies for some things. I'm not too pretentious about it, guys, but like just that's my own personal standard that I hold myself to, and I don't want my boyfriend to watch the Hunger Games movies before he's read the books, because I'm like, you gotta use your imagination. You get so much more depth and character development and just the arcs and the plot and the details. Like, it's all the nitty-gritty stuff in the books that gives you so much more than the movies, even though I do enjoy the movies. And I'm excited for this movie to come out. Just took a drink of water and spilled that all down myself. I don't know why I never grew out of doing that. Like, am I 4 years old? Anyway, next book, back into the realm of classics. This is Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. And unlike Catch-22, I found this book extremely easy to read. I actually read it in one day, which is like unheard of for me. I don't know if I've ever even done that before, or if I have, it's been years, baby, it's been years. So that really goes to show how much I adored this book. It very quickly became one of my favorite books, if not my favorite book, 100% in my top 5. I love dystopia. Dystopia is my favorite genre, and I can't believe I had not read this before, because it's an absolute classic in the dystopian genre. And I loved it. I loved it. It's definitely a book I'll revisit. I'll definitely be rereading it, much like 1984 or Brave New World, Lord of the Flies, like my favorites. is timeless, and it feels more relevant than ever right now. I'm sure it has felt more relevant than ever in several points of history, but read it. Just read it. You're gonna love it. Guy Montag is a fireman. His job is to destroy the most illegal of commodities, the source of all discord and unhappiness, the printed book. Montag never questions the destruction or his own planned life until he is shown a past where people didn't live in fear and a present where one sees the world through ideas. Montag starts hiding books in his home. Soon they'll make him run for his life. So it's kind of all about censorship, which is why it's so relevant and timeless. A very important book. I believe it's been banned several times because it's so prophetic, profound, and important. But it's also wildly entertaining and gripping. Like I said, I read it in one day, and I thoroughly enjoyed it and would highly recommend it, especially if you love dystopia like me. Alright, next up is Think Again by Jacqueline Wilson. So this book is another one that I was highly anticipating, as if you're at all familiar with Jacqueline Wilson's work, you may be aware of the Girls series. So there was Girls Out Late, Girls Under Pressure, Girls in Love, and Girls in Tears. I think I nailed that. And they are about 3 teenage girls sort of going through the ups and downs of early teenhood. They were books that I read in my own early teenhood, but frequently revisited just for nostalgia and because they hold up. They're great. I love Jacqueline Wilson. She was like my favorite author as a child, and I adore her. My cat is using the litter box. Yep, she's using the litter box, so I'm sorry, you will hear that in the background. Anyway, this is a sequel to the original Girls series, and this is about 30 years in the future, I think. Our main character, Ellie, is now 40 years old. The book starts with her turning 40, and it was a lovely, easy read, very relaxing, chill, just kind of about Ellie going through the motions, dealing with turning 40. She is so loud. She is so loud. There are 2 other letterboxes in this house that she could have chosen. I made the mistake of leaving the door open when I came back from checking on my other cat again. I thought I heard her meowing from outside. Oh, she looked directly at me. I feel like I shouldn't make eye contact when they're using the toilet, because I wouldn't want someone staring at me when I'm on the toilet. Oh, I think she's taking a dookie and it's gonna smell. Okay, let me continue. I'm so sorry. I might even cut that out. I don't know. Anyway, wonderful book. Definitely read the Girls series first if you're at all interested in this. I think the only people who would be reading this is people who have read the Girls series when they were younger or in their youth, like me, but I really loved it. It was very nostalgic for me and lovely to see the girls all grown up. Next up is a library book that is very overdue. I just blew dust all over this. I really need to return this. So this is Mickey 7. And it is the book that the new-ish movie Mickey 17 is based on. So once Mickey 17 came out, I was very intrigued. I knew it was by the director of Parasite, I believe, and had Robert Pattinson in it. And I enjoy Robert Pattinson's acting. But then I just happened to find this in the library, and I was like, wait, is this what Mickey 17 is based on? And so of course I had to borrow it. I didn't even know Mickey 17 was based on a book when it first came out. But to be completely honest, guys, I really did not like this book. It was very weak, in my opinion. Interesting premise. It's all kind of about humanity going to space and finding a new planet to live on, which sounds up my alley. I love a bit of sci-fi. But the plot was weak. The characters had no development whatsoever. There were so It was so boring. I did not care at all. It could have been so much better than it was. It sucked. And the movie really wasn't similar at all. Like, there were definitely similarities, but it didn't follow the same plot line. Certain characters were taken out, which is extremely different. So if you liked the movie, I wouldn't even suggest picking up the book. I really didn't like it. And then afterwards I was like, am I valid in this opinion? Am I missing something? Is it me? Am I the problem? Like, this was made into a movie by a renowned director with a prominent actor in it. Like, does everybody love this book? So I did a little bit of research on my own. I went to Reddit, of course, got several opinions, and the general consensus is that this book is not good. So I kind of felt validated once I read other people's opinions on it. It made me feel better, like, okay, I'm not just missing something. Because, you know, sometimes I don't like something that everyone else likes, and I'm like, maybe I'm the problem. But this was not one of those. Another book I really didn't like. I did not finish this bad boy, and I almost never DNF something. I'm actually trying to get better at DNFing, and HaleyJean ASMR is inspiring me in that way because she is a strong believer in DNFing. And if you like bookish ASMR at all, you'll know our queen HaleyJean. She reads so much. She is the goal, but she is a big believer in DNFing or did not finishing books because life is too short to read books that you don't enjoy. And I was like, you know what? You're speaking facts here. You are. I don't know why I've been cursed with this need to finish a book. So I DNF'd it, guys, and it was a big deal for me. This is a book I've been wanting to read for so long. And I believe it's quite highly acclaimed, so this is definitely one where I could be the problem. But I just couldn't get into it. The writing was very flowery and long-winded. The character was full of self-pity at the start. And I know it was meant to be like I'm rooting for her because I've read the Odyssey. So I'm familiar with this character Circe. She's prominent in Greek mythology, and yeah, she's in Homer's The Odyssey. So I was curious about this spin on her backstory, but I just couldn't. It probably would have gotten better, but like the writing style itself wasn't for me. Not to say it was bad, it just wasn't for me. So I DNF'd it. Very proud of myself for that. And now I really need to return it to the library because it's so overdue. It's so overdue. But I'm a big believer in going to the library. Guys, go to your local library. I know that BookTok has really made it on trend and popular to buy all of your books, but you don't need to. Libraries exist. They need to be supported. I used to work at a library and I really enjoyed it. Well, there were parts of it I didn't enjoy, such as me getting bullied. That's a whole other story for another day. But overall, I really enjoyed it. But it was very sad because there was almost no young people. Our main demographic was old people, and then like under fives. So like parents would come in with their little ones and get books for them. Like we did have quite a few kids, you know, even just kids in general up to the age of 10, I suppose. But teenagers and young adults, there was like none that came in. Like I would get excited when one came in because it was so few and far between. And one, I think it's because young people aren't reading that much, and two, because when they are reading, it's in a BookTok way. I know there's plenty of amazing BookTok creators that, you know, aren't like that, and there's nothing wrong with buying books. I bought most of these books here, but just guys, remember that libraries exist. That's all I have here for my book stack. I did read 2 other books. They were investing books. Not that interesting. I'm on my investing journey. I was educating myself, and I've educated myself enough to the point where I'm confident in dabbling in the investing world now. So yeah, I read 2 investing books, and I also barely started the 3rd Harry Potter book, but that sums up everything that